Maps have always been a fascinating topic, not just for navigation but for the wild stories they tell about history and human decisions. Borders seem simple, but sometimes they twist into bizarre shapes, creating situations that defy logic and shape the lives of those nearby. Today, we're exploring 3 of the world's strangest international borders, places where crossing a street or even a room can mean entering a new country. We'll see how history, treaties, and chance have created these unique places and why they matter. Let's dive in. Our first stop is Baarle, a place unlike any other you've likely encountered. Prepare to be amazed by the sheer complexity and unique charm of this border town. A town split right down the middle, geographically and administratively, between Belgium and the Netherlands, Baarle-Hertog and Baarle-Nassau. 2 names, 1 town, 2 countries. But this isn't a simple border. It's far more intricate than a straight line on a map. Imagine a patchwork quilt, a crazy quilt perhaps. Belgian enclaves nestled snugly inside Dutch territory, creating a geographical puzzle. And it doesn't stop there. You'll even find Dutch enclaves residing within those Belgian ones. It's a nesting doll of nations. The border zigzags through streets, an arbitrary line cutting through the everyday, gardens and even buildings. It's a cartographer's nightmare and a resident's reality. Your nationality? A fundamental question, right? In Baarle, it's decided by where your front door is. Yes, the location of your entrance determines your country. Some houses are Belgian, proudly displaying their national flag. Some Dutch, equally proud of their heritage and national identity. And some are both, depending on which room you're in. Imagine having breakfast in one country and dinner in another, all within the same house. This leads to wild situations, scenarios that would seem absurd anywhere else. A restaurant with tables in Belgium, where you can enjoy Belgian cuisine, and a kitchen in the Netherlands, where the magic happens to create those delicious meals. Or a shop with different closing times on each side of the border. Talk about needing to be aware of local regulations. The origins go back to medieval land swaps between local lords, a complex web of feudal agreements. And these tangled lines survived centuries of wars and treaties. They've become a permanent fixture of the landscape. For residents, it's daily life, a unique and sometimes challenging existence. 2 mayors, 2 councils, each responsible for their respective territories. 2 police forces working together to maintain law and order in this unusual environment, and a constant dance of cooperation. Cross-border collaboration is essential for the town to function smoothly. Smugglers once used the border to their advantage, exploiting the complex geography for illicit activities, simply stepping across a line to evade authorities. A simple act with significant consequences. The border is marked by white crosses or metal studs, subtle reminders of the division. Sometimes slicing through a single building or a tiny field, it's a truly bizarre sight to behold. The final official demarcation didn't happen until 1995, a surprisingly recent event, centuries after the original agreements. It took a long time to iron out all the details. Baarle is now a tourist attraction, drawing visitors from all over the world, with shops selling dual nationality souvenirs, catering to the unique appeal of the town, and guided tours explaining the town's unique status. Learn all about the history and quirks of Baarle from local experts. But the administrative headaches are real. The complexities of living in a dual-nation environment, building permits, taxes, navigating the bureaucratic systems of 2 different countries, and even registering a birth can be a bureaucratic maze. Deciding which country a newborn belongs to can be quite the challenge. Despite the chaos, locals embrace their identity, celebrating their unique heritage, living with and even celebrating their town's quirks. They've learned to not only cope, but to thrive in this unusual situation. Baarle is a living museum of feudal Europe, a snapshot of a bygone era, a testament to how stubborn and strange borders can be. It's a place where history and geography collide in the most unexpected ways. It's a place where international relations play out on a single doorstep. The world shrinks down to the size of a doorway. The town forces us to ask, to contemplate the very nature of boundaries. What is a border, really? A physical barrier, an administrative division, or something more? Is it a line or the systems we build around it? The laws, regulations, and cultural norms that define each side? In Baarle, it's both. A tangible line on the ground and a complex web of administrative structures, intertwined in a way you won't find anywhere else. It's a truly unique and fascinating phenomenon. It's a reminder that borders are human inventions, lines drawn on maps that shape our world, sometimes absurd, but always impactful. They define our identities, our laws, and our lives. And somehow, people find ways to adapt, cooperate, and thrive. They build bridges across the divides, fostering community and understanding. That's the magic, the resilience and adaptability of the human spirit, and the madness, the sheer, unadulterated complexity of it all, of Baarle, a place where the absurd becomes the norm and the impossible becomes reality. Next, we journey even further. We head to the Bering Strait, a body of water that separates not just land, but also worlds. Here, two tiny islands, mere specks in the vast expanse of the Arctic, Big Diomede, belonging to Russia, and Little Diomede, a part of the United States, sit just 2.4 miles apart, a distance easily covered by a brisk walk on solid ground, were it not for the icy waters. On a clear day, with the crisp Arctic air offering perfect visibility, you can see one from the other, a tantalizing glimpse of a different world. But crossing that seemingly insignificant gap means jumping 21 hours forward or backward in time, a truly disorienting experience thanks to the invisible yet powerful influence of the international dateline. Big Diomede is often called Tomorrow Island, perpetually a day ahead, while Little Diomede exists in the realm of Yesterday Island, forever playing catch-up. It's the closest thing to real, tangible time travel that exists on Earth, a geographical anomaly with profound implications. The border here is not just a line on a map, it's also the maritime boundary between the US and Russia, a Cold War flashpoint, a region once ominously referred to as the Ice Curtain, a symbol of division and mistrust. For centuries before the political lines were drawn, indigenous Inupiat peoples moved freely between the islands, their lives intertwined with the land and sea. But the imposition of the border and the stark reality of the dateline cruelly split families and cultures, severing connections that had existed for generations. Today, Little Diomede is home to a resilient, though small, Inupiat community, clinging to their traditions in a rapidly changing world, while Big Diomede has been transformed into a Russian military outpost, a strategic location devoid of civilian life. The islands are a stark study in contrasts, a visual representation of geopolitical divides, two countries facing each other across a narrow strait, two languages spoken, each with its own rich history, two distinct alphabets shaping thoughts and communication, and two different days unfolding, all within sight of each other, a constant reminder of the arbitrary nature of time. In the harsh grip of winter, the sea sometimes freezes over, forming an ice bridge, a tempting, seemingly natural pathway, but strictly off-limits, heavily patrolled, and undeniably dangerous. The dateline itself is an arbitrary human invention, a construct designed to manage the complexities of global timekeeping. But here, in this remote corner of the world, it creates a dramatic and very real divide. The Diomedes are a microcosm of global politics, a stage upon which larger international dramas are played out, where geography dictates proximity, time becomes a weapon, and power asserts its dominance. They remind us, with stark clarity, how lines drawn on a map can reshape lives in profound ways, split communities that were once whole, and even warp our fundamental sense of time itself. Even in the most remote and seemingly untouched places on Earth, borders have real, lasting, and often heartbreaking consequences. The islands stand as silent witnesses to the relentless march of history, to shifting empires that rise and fall, Cold War standoffs that threatened global annihilation, and the enduring strength and resilience of indigenous cultures that refuse to be erased. They serve as a potent reminder that even the emptiest spaces are ultimately carved up and defined by human decisions and ambitions. Here, in this unique location, the border isn't just political. It's profoundly temporal, a line drawn through time itself. Two islands, two different days existing simultaneously, one frozen line separating them. A true border etched in the very fabric of time. Our final stop brings us to a truly unique and fascinating corner of Europe. Kaliningrad, a Russian exclave, a geographical anomaly wedged between Poland and Lithuania. It's a region with a complex past and an uncertain future. It is entirely separated from mainland Russia, a physical disconnect that profoundly shapes its identity and its relationship with the outside world. Once the proud German city of Königsberg, a center of culture and learning, it became Soviet after World War II, a consequence of the war's devastating impact and the redrawing of European borders. Its German population was expelled, displaced from their ancestral homes, and the city was renamed Kaliningrad, marking a new chapter in its history. When the Soviet Union collapsed in the early 1990s, Kaliningrad found itself even more isolated, cut off by newly established international borders. This isolation intensified as Lithuania and Poland, its neighbors, joined the EU and NATO, further solidifying its separation from mainland Russia. Now, over 1 million Russians live in a territory completely surrounded by the European Union, creating a unique demographic and political situation. To visit Big Russia, as they call the mainland, residents must cross international borders, navigating a complex web of regulations. They must navigate complex visa rules and border procedures, a constant reminder of their unique geographical predicament. This isolation has inevitably shaped a unique identity for the people of Kaliningrad. They are fiercely Russian in their national identity, but also deeply influenced by their European neighbors and the region's unique history. Kaliningrad's economy relies heavily on subsidies from Moscow, a lifeline that sustains the region. It also benefits from its status as a special economic zone, designed to attract investment and stimulate economic development. However, trade is often complicated by the inevitable customs and border checks, creating logistical challenges for businesses. The region is also a strategic military hub for Russia, a key component of its defense strategy in the Baltic Sea region. It serves as the home base for the Russian Baltic Fleet, a significant naval force. Furthermore, it houses advanced missile systems capable of reaching targets throughout Europe. This military presence makes it a constant point of tension and strategic concern for NATO and its member states. Daily life in Kaliningrad is a fascinating blend of Russian culture and the pervasive influence of its European neighbors, a unique cultural tapestry. It's not uncommon for locals to shop in Poland or Lithuania, taking advantage of the proximity and often more affordable prices. In fact, they might do so more often than they shop in other Russian cities, highlighting the region's unique economic ties. Remnants of German Königsberg, a testament to its rich past, still dot the landscape, offering glimpses into a bygone era. And increasingly, some residents are actively rediscovering and embracing this layered history, seeking to understand their region's complex heritage. Kaliningrad is truly a living crossroads, a place where German, Soviet, and Russian stories intertwine and shape the present. Its exclave status inevitably creates ongoing diplomatic headaches and challenges for all parties involved. Any disruption to transit routes or border access can quickly spark international disputes, highlighting the region's sensitivity. Psychologically, it's a place apart, undeniably Russian, but physically and politically isolated, fostering a unique sense of identity. The region's very existence is a direct result of the tumultuous events of 20th century wars and the subsequent redrawing of European borders. It serves as a stark reminder that borders, once considered permanent, can be redrawn, but the consequences of such changes last for generations to come. Kaliningrad remains a significant geopolitical pressure point in Europe, a region of strategic importance. It is also a cultural melting pot, where different influences have converged over centuries. And ultimately, it's a compelling case study in how history continues to shape the present, influencing the lives of those who call it home. It forces us to consider the complex challenges of how nations maintain ties with distant territories, both economically and politically. And perhaps more importantly, how people adapt to life on the edge, living in a place defined by its unique geographical and political circumstances. Here, the border isn't just a line on a map. It's a tangible daily reality that shapes every aspect of life. Kaliningrad is a living laboratory, offering a unique glimpse into what it truly means to be an exclave in the 21st century. A Russian island, seemingly adrift in the vast expanse of the European Union, a place of both tension and opportunity. From Baarle's patchwork streets to the time-warped Diomedes and isolated Kaliningrad, borders are more than lines. They're living realities. These places show how history, politics, and chance can create absurd, complex, and deeply human stories. Real people navigate these quirks every day, adapting to the invisible lines that shape their world. What's the strangest border you've heard of? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more curious journeys. Thanks for watching. See you next time.